In the sweltering summer of January 1944, under the soft canopy of the Natal sky in Newlands, South Africa, a frail but fierce cry pierced the warm air. A premature baby girl, barely the size of a loaf of bread, was born to Ella and Shan Pillay. She was named Saras Kalyani, a name rooted in strength and grace. Her great-grandmother Amapai would bathe her every day in warm, herbal-infused water, her aged hands steadying the baby's tiny frame. Everyone feared for her survival, but the baby had other plans. Saras Kalyani became Sarojini and eventually just Saroj, a name as strong and simple as she would become. Saroj spent her childhood on her grandfather's strawberry farm, tasked with chasing the birds away from the ripe fruit. Her laughter echoed through the fields, her small hands clapping at the flocks that dared to nibble the berries. Amapai sold peaches in the market and always slipped coins into Saroj's hands. For sweets, she'd say, but Saroj often saved it to buy marbles or sweets for her younger siblings. Saroj was the eldest of 6 children. Life was full of laughter and scraped knees, playing marbles, 3 tins, and cricket with her siblings in the yard. But mischief was never far behind. One memorable afternoon, they turned a wardrobe into a swing. It toppled and crashed onto the bed, but miraculously, no one was hurt. That night, they slept a little quieter than usual. By year 7, Saroj left school to help raise her siblings while her parents worked. At an age when most girls were dreaming of dances and dresses, she was washing clothes 3 times a week, ironing, cooking, and keeping the younger ones in line. Her home became her school, a place where love, discipline, and sacrifice were the lessons of the day. At the age of 15, Saroj's world was shaken. Her beloved father Shan, a pillar of strength, laughter, and gentle wisdom, passed away suddenly. The family home, once filled with his voice, now echoed with unanswered silence. Saroj stood in the kitchen the day they brought the news. Her hands trembled as she held her youngest sibling Desi, who was only 4 years old. Her mother Ella fell into a quiet grief, and in that void, Saroj stepped forward. From that day, she became more than a sister. She became a second mother. In the midst of her quiet sacrifices, love came unexpectedly. A wedding in the community brought Saroj face to face with a young man named Jiva, who was 7 years older. He had known her family for years. In fact, his uncle used to play marbles with her father Shan. At the wedding, Jiva nudged his mother and whispered, "That's the one I want to marry." Saroj, still calling him uncle, had no idea her life was about to change. But before anything official, there was an unofficial suitor, a bold young man from Roosfontein who sent Saroj a love letter through the communal post box. Her father got to the letter first. Saroj never saw it. Let's just say the boy from Roosfontein got a proper talking to, and his parents too, for skipping the all-important step, asking for her hand the Indian way, with respect, tea, and plenty of aunties. The incident became legendary. Shan's friend, Jiva's uncle, laughed and thought to himself, "Rather let Jiva marry her before the whole town starts writing letters." Thus, Jiva became the first and only official proposal. They married in 1963 in a lavish wedding surrounded by tradition, family, and quiet blessings from those no longer present. Saroj moved to Isipingo Beach, where married life was simple but full of joy. She tried her hand at driving, once taking the VW out while she was on a learner's license. She parked it badly and it slid. Another time, she returned home with a broken fender. She laughed it off, a symbol of how she always met mistakes with grace. In 1964, Saroj gave birth to her son, Sundrakumaran Ravi, the first grandchild in both families. Spoiled, adored, celebrated. Great Granny Amapai, now older but still strong, came to help. A pet goat was gifted to little Ravi when he was a few years old and had to be bottle fed like a baby. Their home, filled with animals, love, and stories, was also visited daily by Jacko the monkey, Jiva's pet, who rode with him to work and returned with tales of mischief. Weekends were filled with adventure. Jiva had a rowing boat, and Saroj's siblings and extended family would pile in, heading out to fish in the bay. They caught whiting, laughed under the sun, and shared fried fish wrapped in old newspaper. The boat was later stolen, but the memories never faded. After decades of building a life in South Africa, Saroj and Jiva made the brave decision to move to Australia in 2002. At an age when most people slow down, Saroj started over. New language, new systems, new culture. But her values never changed: hard work, love, and service. Now, at 81 years old, Saroj lives in Brisbane, Australia, with her son, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. The girl who once chased birds in the strawberry field is now the root of a vast family tree. She still cooks, still cares, still tells stories. Her hands are wrinkled but strong. Her eyes, the same ones that cried at 15, now sparkle with pride. She's not just Saroj. She's a legacy, a warrior, and a quiet architect of generations. Saroj's story isn't just about survival. It's about strength without recognition. It's about choosing love over resentment, duty over desire, and family above all. I hope you enjoyed this story about my cousin Saroj. Until next time, please like, share, and subscribe.